Gosh, talk about the longest state of emergency ever. It's not been entirely bad though. The rise in the activism and wokeness of my nation and the general reawakening I am seeing worldwide gives me so much hope. Lockdown has given us an opportunity to truly introspect on how we treat ourselves, how we treat each other, and more importantly, how our governments treat us. I spoke to yet another concerned member of society turned activist, Harold Sedlacek, and asked him what his thoughts are on the state of emergency and how it has affected Namibians.
Well, to me it seems as if the coronavirus scare has been grasped by some drowning politicians as a proverbial straw to distract the attention of the nation from the corruption which is rife in the country. The state of emergency was totally unnecessary. In March we had a handful of isolated cases, and being at the back end of summer, the weather was not really conducive to a viral spread. Yet despite there being no cause for alarm, a state of emergency was declared and level 1 restrictions were imposed. We got a hard lockdown. Paradoxically, as time passed, the number of positive cases increased. Yet despite the increase in numbers, the regulations were incrementally relaxed. It's a classic case of inverse logic. The socio-economic effects are devastating. Just look around you. Small to medium businesses closing down everywhere. They just don't have the resources to sit this economic storm out. I personally know 3 hospitality establishments that had to close their doors. All employees lost their work. Many other businesses have negotiated drastic pay cuts with their employees. Pay cuts that are accepted so that fellow employees do not have to be laid off. But there is a limit to this approach, and that limit is fast approaching. On the upside, if one can call it that, a sense of solidarity seems to be pulling our people together. There seems to be a greater sense of unity, not as a result of anything that our government is doing, for our leaders are as divisive as ever. The recent ranting statement by the Minister of Defence clearly shows that divide and rule is the preferred tactic of our politicians. Yet, despite these negative tactics, the citizens are pulling together. There is no simple or quick solution. The viruses are not going away, and unfortunately we can't vote them out. But what we can do is vote out the incompetent and uncaring politicians and send them packing.
Governments have been yo-yoing with the emotions of citizens throughout this pandemic. And now that the numbers are not backing up their prophecies of doom, I wonder what the next con is going to be. I asked concerned member of society turned activist Harold Sedlacek to share his views.
They just don't have the resources to sit this economic storm out. I personally know 3 hospitality establishments that had to close their doors. All employees lost their work. Many other businesses have negotiated drastic pay cuts with their employees. Pay cuts that are accepted so that fellow employees do not have to be laid off. But there is a limit to this approach, and that limit is fast approaching. On the upside, if one can call it that, a sense of solidarity seems to be pulling our people together. There seems to be a greater sense of unity, not as a result of anything that our government is doing, for our leaders are as divisive as ever. The recent ranting statement by the Minister of Defence clearly shows that divide and rule is the preferred tactic of our politicians. Yet, despite these negative tactics, the citizens are pulling together. There is no simple or quick solution. The viruses are not going away, and unfortunately we can't vote them out. But what we can do is vote out the incompetent and uncaring politicians and send them packing.
Breaking news! Africa's new streaming platform is here. On tv2africa.com you can stream movies, live sporting events, radio and One Africa TV. The best part? There are no subscription, installation or license fees.
What? I can stream my favorite One Africa TV shows for free?
Yes, you heard right. Only standard data charges apply. Download the TV2 Africa app or visit tv2africa.com now and stream away. T's and C's apply.
An Ethiopian Airlines flight brought home some Namibians who had been stuck in various countries when lockdown was announced. The flight allegedly also saw a number of tourists entering the country. One disgruntled Namibian shared her experiences after also being informed that she and her family would have to go to quarantine at a local hotel, which just laid off a bunch of workers at their own expense.
My God. First of all, we landed. Then some politician dude, I don't know which one it was. I think it was Leah Kangala. I don't even know where he fits. Anyway, he comes and stands there at the bottom, you know, where by the stairs where you go down. We are still left in the plane. The whole plane is, and it's hot. He makes a speech for about, the press is there. We're sitting in the airplane. They make a speech for about half an hour. Sit on now. We're waiting in the heat with my 5-year-old. She's hungry, irritable. But anyway, we get off. This is where the fun starts. The airport, excuse my French, is an absolute shit show. They do not show you where to go. Half the people on the plane that were Namibians walked out of the airport building, were picked up by people, and just left. My husband and I and my daughter, we have COVID negative results, 70 valid for whatever, you know, because Ethiopian Airlines won't allow you to. We are in quarantine at Safari. First of all, when we got here, then we had to get on the bus, which was parked aan the kant. Nobody helps you. Chivalry does not exist in Namibia. No one helps you with anything. Jy loop daai hele pad self. There you go. We get on the bus. We get here to Safari. Nobody says anything. We get shown a room. Not a letter, no Ministry of Health official, nothing. The bus driver went in, who is dressed in full PPEs, by the way, goes and gets the key for us from reception, brings it to us, plonks our suitcases, 6 suitcases there on the tarmac, and weggesy. Then it's like for us to see where must we go. I cannot tell you how upset I am. There's no way that these people, this Ministry of Health, is thinking, or this government, that they are dealing with COVID properly. If that is an example of the way it's been. I know, people, I'm so sorry. Good luck. I hear there are 2 planes landing tomorrow. I don't know from where. There's no sort of direction. There's no social distancing. There's no nothing. There's no signs to show you walk this way or go that way. Sterkte vir julle. I hope you all get home soon, and I hope you all have a better experience than we did.
The quarantine facility at the hotel also proved to be less than adequate.
Okay, people, so we are quarantining at Safari Hotel, okay? Which is not the state-funded. We had to pay for this place. So first of all, we are 3. My husband and me and our daughter, who's 5 years old. So this is initially, we paid for a family room. This is initially, the room that they gave us was this size, just this one, with 6 suitcases and a 5-year-old, and we're not allowed to leave this space, apparently. So then eventually, after I kicked up a huge fuss, they gave us two adjoining rooms like this. Okay, so that's fine. So now let me show you. So this, it says bathroom cleaner. So we must clean the bathroom, and then that's the dishwashing. So basically you must wash the dishes in the sink in the bathroom. I can't see anywhere else where you can wash it. So there's no space, as you can see, to put the dishes. So now that's the situation. So I'm going to wash those dishes in the sink with dishwashing liquid provided like that, and that's the bathroom cleaner. Okay, linen is apparently changed once a week. Nothing about when towels and things are changed. Please note, we are paying for this. This is not state funded. And at Safari, apparently, there is isolation. So there's patients that are COVID positive. There's quarantine, which is what we are doing. And then there are normal guests. So I don't even know, I don't think we're allowed to go outside, but no one has explained. There's been absolutely no communication since we got here. This is the little letter. Let me show you. Sorry. That is the little letter that the quarantine people get. And in fact, when we got here, we had to phone and say what is going on, who's going to come and talk to us, what is the procedure, and that is what we got a little later. People, ek sê liever niks.
Meanwhile, prisoners being jailed in Okahanja managed to escape their holding cells and went on a drinking spree in a nearby settlement. The police, after apprehending them, filmed a video after they asked them to show them how they had escaped. Check this out.
Who is there? Someone must be there. Take your time. Assume you are going now like that. Don't waste our time, man. You, what are you? Touch. Stand still. Okay.
So you were putting the thing in the hole, is it?
Okay. This one?
And this one? Would you not bring?
Oh, to hit. Okay.
You must go out. Yeah, show us how you went out. Yeah. You go out. Yeah. Listen. Check it. Yeah, come.
Let's do like
Go outside, man. Now I want to.
waiting for you. Like I said, just
Now go through.
Just go.
Yeah.
Assume we are going home.
Yeah.
Or wherever we're planning to go. Or to Angola.
Waiting.
Cannot see you. You are busy here or what?
Go.
Movement is becoming too much now. You are behaving
Okay. Listen. Stand Vivek. Just stand Vivek. Who's the other one to go and
Stand there.
Wait,
Yella, are you hearing? Just leave it. Don't move.
Is there someone taking you?
Sorry, let me go get a picture. These buggers.
I don't know to whom to climb on. I don't know how to. The master. Just assume, man. You are going home. To 5 rand away. Yeah, let's meet at 5 Okay. We'll meet there. Next. Yeah. Yeah, you understand that? So you went barefoot. Yeah?
Just here, my friend.
Go on. Yeah, let's meet at 5 rand. Okay. We'll meet in it. Go home, guys. Yeah, sharp.
Doggy.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Your World of Champions is getting an exciting makeover. We're giving your favorite sport a dedicated channel to enhance your viewing experience. Finding what you want to watch has never been this easy. Welcome home to your dedicated channels on the World of Champions, coming 1st September.
Seven Click stores in South Africa were vandalized, resulting in all their shops being closed the next day because of a racist shampoo advert depicting black women's hair as dull and frizzy, whilst being seen to glorify white people's hair, dubbing it fine, flat and normal. The backlash has been interesting, with the EFF spearheading the protests.
We are here to protest against the indignity of black people, where cliques saw it befitting to portray black people in an inhumane manner, in a manner that is not acceptable. We should never allow anyone to practice racism after the formation of the EFF. The EFF is the only machine that can defeat racists in South Africa. And we are here to say to cliques peacefully, racism is violence. And the only way to defeat violence is through violence. And we are here peacefully. We are saying to them they must close the whole week. They will open from Saturday because they value money more than humanity. They projected us in that way because they wanted to make more money out of projecting black people as people who cannot be celebrated and their beauty is not befitting of human beings. So we are here to say to them, since you wanted to make money at our expense, we are going to make you lose money because you worship money more than humanity. We ask them peacefully, do not open for the next 5 days. They refused. We said to them, suspend the person who was involved in this advert. You must dismiss a company that commissioned this advert. They refused to give us a list of the people who were involved in the advert. They refused to terminate the contract of the company that was involved in projecting black people as ugly people. So we are here to teach them a lesson. We will not be here if the management here at Mall of the North of Cliques commit that they will not open until Saturday. They will open from Saturday. If they do not commit, we are going to come back here every day. And they are inconveniencing the mall and other shops. I don't know why other shops are closing, because there is no need to close other shops. We are fighting against cliques, not Checkers and ShopRite and anything like that. Their day will come. Today is the day of cliques. We don't know what police are doing here. Papa. We are not mad people. We are reasonable people. We are members of parliament. We make laws. We don't make violence. Azandara sukela cliques in or sukela nje. And they know every time they provoke black people, they will apologize. And some wish-washy blacks without a backbone, some amubas will say, no, cliques has apologized, therefore let's leave them. That is the highest level of stupidity of the black elite, which wants to behave like white people. We are not white, we will never be white. White people insult us and then they apologize. They think that is the end. We are no longer going to accept any apology which is not accompanied by justice. We need justice, not apology. Who is punished for projecting black people as ugly people? Who is punished for that? That's what we are seeking today. We want someone to be held accountable. Someone must lose his or her position. We don't care whether it's black or white. They must lose their position for insulting black people. That is justice we seek. We don't seek a smelly apology which is not authentic. Every time they apologize, every time they are ready to throw money, they say to us, give us any organization will donate money to charity. It's an arrogance of capital. Every time they insult you, they say they will pay you. So we are tired of that. We are here peacefully. We are saying to cliques, South Africa, close your shops. If you want peace, you don't want problems, close your shops until Friday. Then there will not be any problem with cliques. If you don't want to close your shops, cliques, suspend the people who were involved in projecting black people as ugly people.
This issue almost brought South Africa to a standstill, considering that citizens of that nation are going through pretty much what we're going through, dealing with a government that is more concerned with enriching a few rather than economically liberating its people. Auntie Mandy's sentiments were echoed on various platforms. Natalie Nova, a woke sister from Beyond Borders, shared this video on social media, which helps to balance the issues at play here. Check it out.
I've been watching what's been happening with this whole clique saga, Theresa May, and I've watched a lot of people in my life spew some on the internet, which, you know, coming from their perspective, it doesn't really hold a lot of weight for me. Because they're not a person of color, they're not a black person, and they don't have our hair type. So I decided to make this little video for those people, because I think it's important that people understand why us as colored women and us as black women are reacting so in such a volatile way towards what has been said and how it was portrayed. For you to understand, okay, so 300 years of slavery or more, okay? In that time, our mothers have been brainwashed. Like, you will not believe. My own mother didn't like me coming home looking like this. I had to straighten my hair and make it look like good hair in order to come home, because of her inability to accept her own blackness, I suppose. Because, as you know, it's only recently that being black became fashion. Come on. So when we are talking about the fact that this is wrong, the way it was portrayed that our hair is bad, which, look at my hair, bitch. I look fabulous. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm good with most hairstyles. I've got one of those heads that just fits every wig, and I can straighten my hair and I look okay. But when my hair is big, I'm at my happiest, and I think it's the most beautiful that my hair is. So it comes from a space of psychological warfare, also a space of just for my whole life I've been told I'm ugly by the media. My nose is ugly, my lips are ugly, my cheekbones are ugly, my very voluptuous figure as a black woman is ugly, my big butt is it's seen as like cheap looking. Yet white women inject their faces, their lips, their boobs, their butts to look like us, and we've got to deal with that. So that's where all of that comes from, okay? So before you say something hurtful about how black and colored women of color, are reacting to this whole saga, speak to somebody who is black or colored in your life in South Africa, and then you can make an informed decision. Okay, a lot of people say they don't see color, but that ain't true. That ain't true.
And the memes just kept on giving, Shem. And with that, it's a wrap. Stay woke with It's a Wrap by following us on our social media pages. It's a Wrap Nam on Insta, It's a Wrap Namibia on YouTube, and It's a Wrap with Erica Gebhardt on Facebook.
Keep my troubles far away and not to give up with a little bit of luck. But the stars will never change, as I will stay the same. And all that you will need is something to believe. Aim for the moon, and the clouds will catch your fall. You don't need much, just believe, that's all. Aim for the moon, and the clouds will catch your fall. You don't need much, just believe, that's all. Just believe, that's all. Times change from night to day, as all things fade away. But as long as you know, be who you are and never let go. It's more than who you are. The next battle's not too far.